Welcome back to the AvidLaw Probate tutorials. In this tutorial, we'll show you how to draft the notice documents. Shortly after the initial filing documents have been filed with the court, you will then need to send out notices to interested parties, informing them the probate process has been started. To send out these notices, we'll open the Notice Documents folder and select the item that will draft all of the documents needed at this stage in the process. Again, we double-click on the item. Then we are prompted whether we want to start a new probate or use an existing answer file. To use the answer file that we used in our last tutorial, we'll simply click on the drop-down menu here and select the correct answer file for this client. As you can see, most of the items are already answered from our previous filing. This saves you a significant amount of time now and in the later stages of the probate process because you won't need to answer these questions again for this case. To continue to the first unanswered question, you'll click on this button here. The first unanswered question is the probate case number that you received when you filed the initial filing documents. You can also enter the estate's employer identification number if you have it. If not, leave it blank until you receive it. Lastly, enter the date the letters were issued. This is usually the filing date. Note that some practitioners choose to draft these notice documents prior to filing the initial documents, so their clients can sign both sets of documents in one office visit. If you do this in your practice, you can leave these fields blank and add them by hand before filing these documents. Once you're finished, click on the Next Unanswered Question button. The next question that we need to answer is which documents we want to draft. Like before, you can select if you want to print out our checklist for this stage of the probate process. These other documents that are selected are ones you will probably need to draft at this point, but you can unselect any that don't apply to your specific case. The second group of documents include some that are not drafted by all practitioners. These include a renunciation of fee for the personal representative, waivers of inventory and/or waivers of accounting, and Arizona Form 210, which is an income tax form. The next question asked for the address to which creditors should send their claims. In most cases, this will be your firm's address, but you can select or add a different address if needed. Next, we will need to answer some questions about IRS Form 56. We assume that your firm will want to file this form with respect to the 1041 for the estate. Here we need to select if Form 56 will also cover the filing of the 706 for estate taxes, and if a second Form 56 will be prepared for filing the decedent's final 1040. Next, we are asked about the SS4 form. We recommend that you apply online for the employer identification number for the estate, but you should have your client sign a paper copy of an SS4 form, including the third-party designee provisions for your own files. You can use the SS4 form drafted here for that purpose. Also, if the attorney handling the case is a third-party designee, click Yes to the next two questions. If someone else will be the third-party designee, you can name that person instead. Next, you'll add in the name and address of all potential creditors with known addresses. If you need to add additional creditors, simply click the Add Another button and enter their information. We previously selected that we wanted to prepare a waiver of inventory. We'll now select that we want a waiver of both inventory and account, and that they are being waived by the wife, Jane, and by the son, Billy. Now we are ready to draft the documents. Just like last time, it asks us if we want to save our answer file, and you will always want to. Then it continues to draft all the documents we have selected. As we did before with the initial filing documents, we can now review the documents and edit them as needed. That concludes this tutorial. In our next tutorial, we'll show you how to draft the inventory and appraisement and related documents.